Hey everybody, welcome to Flight Check. Today we're talking about the new Su-47. So Tom, why don't you tell us about this amazing experimental plane?
Yeah, it's a really cool one since it was never fully operational. We have a lot of freedom around what we're going to give it and how we're going to let it express its identity in Metalstorm. So the Su-47 in Metalstorm is a heavy fighter. It's carrying 2 short-range IR missiles, 6 medium-range radar missiles, 4 flares, and a precision cannon. While this is a heavy fighter, parts of the lore of this plane is that it is super maneuverable, and so it will behave a little bit more like a medium fighter when it comes to maneuverability and turn rate. And it's going to come with a load of cool skins. The forward swept wings on this plane are, extremely obvious just from the plane's silhouette.
The reason for the forward swept wings was they provide really enhanced agility. In fact, the Su-47 is described as a super maneuverable plane, and quite possibly due to the design of those wings.
So what we did was take that and turn it into an actual trait for the plane. So this, that when the Su-47 comes out, it will introduce an entire new trait to the game, forward swept wings, which kind of leans into that high maneuverability and possibly slightly unstable nature of the plane.
So the way that this new trait works is that the Su-47 has greater than typical agility for a heavy fighter, but this plane has maneuverability that's a lot closer to medium fighter. So it's more agile, it's got great roll, great pitch. The one downside, though, is that slight instability that came with that experimental forward swept wing. If you take damage while you're turning really hard,
yeah, you lose control of your plane. So there's a new mechanic in the game, which is when you take damage when you're turning really hard here, you lose control. Your plane will just keep pulling in the direction that it was going.
The damage has to come from something big like missile explosion or rocket explosion. Guns won't trigger it. And the other thing is that the loss of control is proportional to how hard you were turning when you got hit. So if you're not turning that hard, it's not a big deal. And even if you're turning hard under normal circumstances, it's a pretty brief effect. But if you're turning even harder than usual, that's when things can get a little bit tricky. But how could you turn harder than usual, Tom?
Yes. The Su-47's special ability is backflip. It is a it's a hold to use ability. You will hold down the button, and you will your plane will pitch up as hard as it can and even harder than it really should be. You'll get pretty exceptional turn rates out of this thing when you're doing that, and you will maintain speed extremely well through the turn.
As you go into the backflip, you can bail out of this maneuver at any time by letting go. So while you are locked into the direct pitch up and over, you can bail out at any time. So if you just need a little bit of an extra boost to get your nose over on that light fighter, you can do that. Or you can keep holding down and you'll do a full 360-degree backflip and come out in exactly the same spot and direction that you entered. It's very flexible, and then it just triggers a cooldown after you're done. We've used this offensively, getting your nose on a target or missiles on a target. We've used this defensively when you get around cover, and then you make a much harder turn than usual to sort of mix up where your enemy thinks that you're going. There have been plenty of times where I'll pass by somebody in a joust, and then I'll be able to do an incredibly quick 180 and then get cannons on them before they even come around. It's a really exciting and very flexible ability. So let's talk about those medium range radar guided missiles. They're a little bit special. So unlike normal radar guided missiles, these ones will re-lock onto the same target more quickly than usual. So the first lock will still take the same amount of time, but repeated locks after that will go much more quickly.
This is more of a way for you to choose to single out a target and really bring a lot of firepower to bear on them.
The Su-47 is particularly good at singling out individual targets because of that super maneuverability.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that the Su-47 is going to turn into the dogfighting heavy fighter and its ability to isolate a target and actually keep up with them in the turn fight means that, yeah, you have a lot of time to and a lot of opportunities to actually go and use all those missiles.
And look spectacular while doing it.
Oh, of course. We're really excited about the Su-47. We're really excited to get this into your hands. We know the community's been asking for this plane for a very, very long time. So why don't you drop a comment below and let us know what you're most excited for when you get your hands on the Su-47. And I think we'll pick a random comment on the YouTube video and give that player enough gold to buy one of the cool new skins for the Su-47.
Thanks very much for joining us on this episode of Flight Check on the Su-47. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you love these videos, then we'll keep doing them, so let us know.
Make sure you check out the Black Market event and the Winter Login event to get all your rewards in Metalstorm. From the whole team at Starform, happy holidays, and we'll see you in the New Year, pilots.
For the Su-47, pronounced
BERKUT?
BERKUT? BERKUT? We're going to call it the Su-47.
Is it Su-47?
BERKUT, who knows? BERKUT, BERKUT.
BERKUT. BERKUT.
What a nightmare of a name.